Hi, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to budget out my first paycheck of August. So let's go ahead and get started. So August is a 3 paycheck month, so I'm super excited about that. It's time to finally catch up on some of the sinking funds that I've been using but neglecting to refill. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it with this paycheck or next, but I think by the end of the month I should be able to. This month is also going to be a fairly high spend month because we have a trip to New York at the end of the month for the US Open. I'm expecting New York to be expensive, and then two, I'm planning on buying something there that might be a little pricey. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that I did get a very small raise, about 3.8%. A few weeks ago, I asked my manager for a raise. At the beginning of the year when we had our performance reviews, I got a really strong rating, really great reviews from my stakeholders, and my team did really well, like revenue-wise, and basically they had nothing but good things to say. I asked for a raise at that time, and they were like, well, no. Essentially, like, we just don't have it in the budget right now. Let's check back in about 2 months. They said about 3 months, like end of Q2. So end of Q2 comes around and I'm like, well, I'm here. I've done everything you asked. I've been volunteering for projects, just like whenever I get a chance. I've continued to do well at work, so I want more money. Initially, they said no. And I was like, okay, well, why? Because I've done what you've said and my team is still doing well, and she's like, okay, we'll put something in writing. I'll run it up the ladder, see what we could do. And I wasn't expecting anything, but I was like, fine, I'll do that. I think she was expecting me not to do that because I've heard from other people. I heard one of my coworkers told me that they've told her before to put something in writing, and she's like, well, I don't want them to have like a record. And I was like, okay, well, I will do that because I feel like I deserve something. And they did get back to me, not with as much as I was hoping, but something, so it helps. It's only a $2,500 raise. It's about $100 per paycheck. After taxes, 401k, and everything, it's very small each paycheck, but it's something, so that's good. She says that we can revisit again. She didn't specify when, but like with my next performance reviews that we could like revisit for like a higher raise. So I'm feeling hopeful, I'm just going to continue doing good, continue volunteering for projects as they come up, and then hopefully that turns into a little bit more money. But at least I was able to get something out of it because her initial response to me was, no, we can't do that. So I'm glad I did it, But the company is doing really well, at least our department is, not just my team. We are almost in 2023. Let me tell you, hold on. So year to date, so at the end of Q2, we've already made like 83% of how much we made all of last year. So we're doing really well this year. So I hope that means that next year, hopefully higher raises, higher bonuses, we'll see. Anyways, so yeah, this paycheck is a little higher, partly because of the small raise I received, and then partly because of some overtime that I had. It was just, anyways, so let's get started with budgeting. August is obviously fully funded since I'm a month ahead. We'll go ahead and start in September. Like normal, I will do half of the gym, all of my cell phone bill, com ed, and then half of rent. Okay, we'll do all of these subscriptions. So that's $70.17 for everything. I do have to come back and figure out my yearly subscriptions because I've added some things, so I have to like recalculate my numbers and how much I'll need each month. It didn't ask me for any money right now, but let's go back. and see how much I've sent in the past. $13.25. So let's send $13.25 this month also. So we're still contributing to it. I just have to take some time to like figure out how much I actually need. Food we always skip and wait for the second paycheck, but we'll do the variable expenses. So since I'm a month ahead and we're budgeting for September, I wanted to start thinking about like some of the things I have going on in September, and September is actually going to be a really crazy month. The first few days will be in New York, but then after that, my sister's going to be here for about a week and a half. Then we're going to be in Salt Lake for about a week and a half. So it's like a lot of things going on. I assume a lot of eating out that month. So I might need to beef up some of these categories. We are going to go see the Harry Potter like Broadway show, the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. We're not really like musical people, but we are Harry Potter fans. So that's why we got those tickets, and that's why my sister planned this trip to visit. Let's go ahead and take care of all of these Gabby Improvement Fund categories. Whoa, what happened here? Okay, that's what happened. I funded all of rent rather than just half, so. Okay, and then half of tennis. I just try to split some of the bigger categories. I try to split them in halves to like, I don't know, just have a more even month. I know tennis used to be more money, and that's why I split this one, but now I guess I could do something like shopping instead, but we'll just keep it the way it is. And then the last thing would just be the household consumable gets $10. And I think that's all that I need to fund with this paycheck. Yeah, okay. So now we'll go back to this month and start budgeting some of this extra money. I am trying to save $125 per paycheck to my down payment. I haven't been doing that the last few months, so I'm going to try this month and see if that works. But it's not a huge priority because we're not sold on buying a home. So this is just kind of like extra money that might be a house down payment, might be like a early retirement situation at some point, and we'll invest it at some point, or it might be like a mini retirement. I don't really know. But if we do decide to buy a home, I want to have money ready to go, which is why I'm saving for it. So we'll see. So $125 for that. Then let's skip down to these sinking funds. The main priority right now is getting San Francisco and LA funded because, all right, so today's the 1st. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 weeks until we go to New York. And then after that, at the beginning of October, we'll go to San Francisco and LA. So it's coming up quick, and I just don't get paid a ton, so I don't have like a lot of extra money typically to fund my trips. So I really have to make this a priority every paycheck. So let's go ahead and send $155 for now. But I do still want to fund some of these categories because, like I said, they've been neglected, and I do still have some time before the San Francisco and LA trip. So, let's see. Send 40 to Home Goods, 50 to live events, and $679 will get us to $270. So we'll do $36.79 to gifts, get that up to $300. That's looking good. So ended up sending, oh gosh, I don't even know. Let's take a look. To travel, we ended up sending, so $155 to $205 to travel, and then $65 to live events, because if you saw, like, I had almost no money in there. I had $50. I really want to keep that at $500 because it's August now, football season's approaching, basketball season's approaching, so I want to make sure we have money in there. I have money in there to be able to buy tickets to sporting events because that's what I enjoy. And then I know that we want to try to go to a Cubs game this summer. We just haven't made it out yet, and that'll be coming. So this will be get used at some point soon, I'm hoping. But yeah. The next paycheck, I'll send a little more money to San Francisco and LA. Definitely not $450, but it's the third paycheck where I'm really going to focus on beefing these up and getting this fully funded. And then, so I know that when San Francisco and LA is fully funded, it's just going to be a huge weight lifted off my shoulders because just with all of our trips being so back to back, it's just felt like a lot, and I've been worried that I'm not going to have enough money. So once New York comes, so we'll be in New York this weekend, Labor Day weekend. Then my sister's going to be in town, and that same weekend our friend is going to be in town, so we're going to have a girls' weekend. It'll be fun. And then my sister will be in town the following weekend as well because she'll be here for about a week and a half. Then the following weekend after that, we'll be in Salt Lake, and the following weekend after that. So it's like 2 weekends in Salt Lake. Then the weekend after that is when we leave for San Francisco and LA, and the weekend after that is when so Sunday we come back from that trip. So it's literally like from the time that we're in New York until like the 13th of August, there's something going on pretty much like 6 weeks straight. So it's going to be just like a really crazy, really high spend, like month and a half. And it's been stressing me out. And then things really do calm down for the rest of the year, with the exception of Thanksgiving, when we're going to Buffalo to spend time with my boyfriend's mom. So big things coming. All right, so that's it for this video. I know I promised a budget with boyfriend, I guess, in July, but the month got away from us. It's been busy, and I think he just got a little lazy also, if we're being honest. So he did practice. Basically, I just kind of told him just to introduce himself, give a little bit of insight into his financial situation, and then go through his budget. I said to go line by line so you can see how he does things and what each category is for. Honestly, it's kind of similar to mine because we share a lot of these expenses. Like pretty much all of these he has as well. So there's a lot of overlap, but some of the things you'll see that he's working on that I'm not working on, for example, a Roth IRA, I've already fully funded mine and he's still working on his. So there are some differences. He did do a run through, and now he's gonna film it with his next paycheck. We already talked about it. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.